Well, hello there. If you're wondering what we're doing here, we found this picture of a house on Google, and now we're trying to remake this in Revit. The focus of this series is to take an educated guess at how the internal structural frame is formed and try to recreate it in Revit. This is part 4 in the series. We're trying to add stairs in the model which will clash with the ground beams on the first floor. It's going to be edited to accommodate the stairs.
drawtechnic.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
If you're looking for parts 1 to 3, I've left links to them in the description below. Okay, so here's the model as we've left it last time. And if I bring up the section box, anytime now. It's just slow today, isn't it? If I drag that back here, you'll see that there's the structure of these beams on the first floor holding this ground up here. I want to put stairs in this room which go up through to this first floor, which means it'll clash with these beams here. And we have to move these beams around to accommodate those first floor. But there's also another trick to cut the time down for doing this. So there's a way to make a hole in this floor here and probably the ceiling below. And all we have to do is probably edit these joists. But if we're lucky, maybe that tool will help to open that up as well. So, going on to the ground floor. I'm just going to get rid of this here. Okay. Now I want to add stairs in this room. Shall we add some doors in here just to make it look a bit more alive? Yes. Oh, that's big. Alright, whatever. We know there's doors in every house, so forget about it. Stairs. So we're gonna pick this here. Now, I want the person to enter this house and come in through here, and there should be a door here in which they can enter this room, and the stairs will be over here, which will go around like this and lead to the next floor. Now I've clicked the stairs tool, but I need to set some parameters here. Now if I leave it on here, run, center, it'll draw like this, where the distance from the line you're drawing to the ends of the stairs is equal on both sides. It's going to be tricky to fit this in nicely around here, so that's not what I want. It might be this one here, run on the right. No, so I can go back here and I want to run on the left. Okay, now let's have a think here. If a person was to enter the room from here, how far should the stairs be? Should they start about here? We'll do it to here, matching the outside of this wall here. So I'm going to click that. Now my first click will set the first few stairs, and if you see here, it says just under the stairs, rises created. Oh, how many rises created? It'll tell you how many. 11 rises created and 7 remaining. So this is useful for being able to create a landing. Now, I'm not going to put the full set of stairs down. I'm going to click it up to here. Now the first click has set my stairs here. But we still have a few more stairs to create so that these stairs can reach up to the next level. Now wherever I set my next click, which will be here, in line with this railing, it'll create the landing for me. Now, it looks like we're gonna need a few more stairs here. So I'll stop it here. And I'll do another one over here, in line with this railing here. And draw the rest of the stairs down like this. Now we've got 2 landings on these stairs, and they go up to the first floor. This looks a little bit clashy. I will sort it out in a minute. First, let's just hit OK and see how it looks in 3D. Okay, the up sign is telling you go up from here and you'll reach up to the next floor. Let's see how it looks in 3D. Let's hide that away. Okay, so it's clashing with the ground here. Now, whatever we put in this room has to be offsetted by the height of this ground, including that door. You see, if you step into the door here, you're gonna have to take a big step to get on top of this concrete. Let's find out how tall this floor is anyway. So, into the ground floor, and this section here which we left behind, go to view, and hit the DI keys on your keyboard to get the dimension tool to show up. Now from the ground floor line is going to be here. Actually, it looks like it's hidden away and we want to see it, so okay, now click the light bulb down here to reveal anything that's hidden. I don't know why these are hidden away. We need to find out where the ground floor line is. I could guess that it's just here, but well, actually, yes, it is here, because the top set of this goes up to the ground floor. So the very top of this wall here is where the ground floor starts. So hit DI on your keyboard. Click the bottom of this floor to the top of it. That is 470 big. I think this floor might be a bit too big for this house, so I'm just going to cut it down a bit. Let's see here. We're going to have to edit it. Duplicate. You never overwrite what is originally there in case you need it. Always duplicate it. So I'm just going to call this new ground floor. It's too high. Now let's see here, what do we have? A thermal layer. We don't need a thermal layer because we have this already. If we need a thermal layer, we can put it in here. This is the thermal layer, so I'm going to get rid of that. Where is it again? Air. Delete. Let's see how it looks. And what else can we get rid of? So the concrete itself is 75. And then it has concrete masonry floor block. I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to make this 150. Let's see what the rest of this is here. We have no membrane layer. Maybe we should. I'll make it 2.5. Just make it 3. In fact, we'll make it 5. And that's it really. Row 3. That's this here. Layer function priorities cannot ascend from the core boundary to the finish face. Membrane requires 0 thickness. Fine. 0 thickness. You happy? Okay. That looks a little bit more manageable. Now we'll change all of them into this new one. New ground floor. And let's see how high it is from the joists. 175. So, selecting all of them in the entire project, because they're only on the ground floor here. The height offset is 470. I'll change it to we need to minus 175 from this figure. I'm not going to sit here doing maths. 470 minus 175, 295. Okay. That looks a little bit more manageable. So now everything has to be at an offset height of 295 so that people can actually walk into this house and use it. So back on the 3D actually. Okay. Offset value 2510. So 2510 plus 295. 2805. 2805. The align tool. There we go. Make life easy using the align tool. It doesn't work for everything, but hey. There we go. So, if this were built, the earth would come up to here. To the bottom of this door, or a little bit lower than that. Usually there's some kind of step onto here. Okay. So it should be now that if you were to walk into this home, you would have no problem stepping onto the ground here. That's good. Okay, now to sort out the stairs. So, select the whole stair assembly, and we need a way to click the whole stair assembly. Base offset at 295. There we go. Well, that's fixed that problem. Let's see if the rest of this looks fine. So I'm going to temporarily hide that. Okay, it doesn't look irregular. It looks alright, except the fact that it's clashing with this here, which we will edit. Now, imagine if a person walks up here and they climb up here. At what point will there need to be a hole in this ground here so that they don't hit their heads? I'm gonna say it's around about here. It should be that there is a hole here, just so it starts to invite them into the upper floor. Alright, so go into level 1. And we want to see what's below. So in your properties panel. Alright, let's try and edit the view range a little bit. So let's move this to substructure. Now, as far as I know at work, when I'm using the view range, only the cut plane and the view depth matter. These other parts are just there to throw you off. If you need to edit them. Otherwise, just leave them. They're not important. These are the important ones. So substructure and the cut plane. There we go. Now we can see it. Okay. So when a person walks up onto the third step, I want them to be able to, by the way, get rid of this railing. You don't need it. You have the wall here. So just delete that. Otherwise it's going to clash with the wall. In fact, this is already clashing with the wall here. Alright, let's just edit this a little bit just to so that it doesn't clash with the wall. What's this? Another one. Delete these rails, you don't need them. You don't need the stringers either. Alright, that's better. That's it, that's what we need. Okay, that's fine now. Okay, what we're gonna do here is put a hole in this ground so that you can actually go upstairs. So in level 1, go into the architecture tab and look for this tool, the shaft tool. This is what it does. It creates a hole through the levels. Now, I don't think it's going to cut through the beams, but it'll cut through the ground and hopefully the ceilings as well. So, there we go. Let's click that. And we'll add it around the third step. And just draw this out here. All the way. Okay, now here I just want to put a bit of tolerance here, because the stairs, just because you made it exactly the stair width doesn't mean it's gonna fit perfectly. So I want to move this over by 2 mil or 3 mil. Let's make it 3 mil. And the same for these. Three mil. I can use the offset tool here. 3. There we go. And hit OK. Now let's see how it looks in 3D. So just as I suspected, it cut off the ground here, which is just what we need. But we need to do something about these joists which are in the way. And if these joists are moving out the way, we need to make sure that the stairs can still be supported. And they're leaning against the walls here, but maybe there's something else we can do to help support them. In the ground floor, we can edit the view range to go a little bit higher. And this might be tricky. Whoops, we got it. Okay. Now I'm going to use the shaded to help me with seeing how this is going to look. Okay, so this needs editing. I'm just going to change the color of this here. Now, in the Modify tab, like I said before, we need to cut all this out so people can use it. People can walk here. So I am thinking to create the beam system to go around the stairs, around here and here. Now, imagine somebody walks up the stairs and walks up to here. This area is going to be quite bouncy. So to support it, I'm going to put one column here and one column here so that it doesn't bounce. Let's do that quickly. I'm selecting all these so I can unpin them so that I can actually edit them. Unpin. Now it's time to edit. Delete, 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 and delete. So these are 250 wide. Okay, now I want this joist to be over here. So I think I'll just copy another one over just for safety. Just for good measure instead of moving it. Okay, now to use this trim tool, I trim everything down. We're gonna trim it down even more, but I'm just trimming these down so I can keep my eyes on them. Looks like we might have to do the same with this. We're gonna have to split this one actually. So if we split it here, this is gonna be loose. There'll need to be a column here then as well. I'm splitting this. Alright, we can't split it for some reason. Can we split this? Why can we split this but not split this? Ah, of course. Unpin. Alright. I'm gonna split this here. Now I'm gonna do something a little bit different here. I want to align this with down here. So I'm gonna align this joist here to there so that I can extend I want to extend this there so that it's supporting here. And this one should be able to do the same up to the third step there. Okay, now I'm going to copy this joist over, unpin that, and I'm going to copy this over here. And this is what I'm going to do. Align it with this side. And these joists have automatically joined to it. That's good. And I'm connecting this to the beam system here. Now we're going to need another one on this side here. So align it to this side. And trim it to this. So there's our little beam system, which is supported here, and this is supported by this, which extends up to here. Now I just want to look at this in 3D just to get a better perspective of what's going on. So a person can walk upstairs here, and they'll walk upstairs here all fine, until they reach this massive step. Okay. So they'll have to take one gigantic step up here. Now this is not ideal for a human to try and make a big leap up to the first floor. Let's see what we can edit here. I'm drawing a section to get a better perspective of what we're looking at. Medium, shaded. Okay. So currently, this is the last step, and then suddenly you have to make a big jump up to the first floor. And how far is that? 261. So the tough offset will be 261. Let's see how that looks again in 3D. Looks a little bit better. That's it. Now you just have to take one civilized step up to the next floor, which is good. Now there's just a couple of things to do here. Now there's just a couple of things I want to do here. So I want to put a column here and a couple columns here. So in the structure and column, this is not the column I want a timber column. So go into load family and look for structural columns, wood. Let's see what we have here. Timber or glulam? I'm going to choose glulam. Glulam is supposed to be very strong. I actually did my dissertation on glulam. That's a better looking size. I want this column to be bigger. I want it to accommodate this whole thing here. So 197. Yeah, it has to be a 197 by 197 column. So let's go and edit that in 3D. Where are you? We'll delete this one. Yeah, sometimes things are tricky. You have to find where they are. The top offset. The base is at substructure. I want the base to be on the ground floor and the top level to be level 1. Base to be ground floor. That's better. Alright, so I'm gonna change the dimension of this. What was it? 197. 197. Okay. So edit. And remember to duplicate 197 by 197. And change this to 197 by 197. Simple. There we go. And I'm gonna align it to, just move this down one. Quickly change the color of this category. Material to solid fill. Was it that color? That's not the right color, is it? Let's just do it that color. Why is it still that color? Okay, now I'm going to drag this down a bit. One thing I learned at work was to never drag and drop things, so that's bad practice right there. Unless you know what you're doing. Now that column is supporting these beams, but it's probably not exact, so we're going to make sure that it's exact. We're going to make sure that it's exact, but before that, we're going to copy another one over. Copy. It's clashing with the beams. Okay, so let's look at the cut of this. Go to view, medium, and shaded. So these are our columns here, and they're clashing with these beams here. Now before I do anything here, actually I just want to add a ceiling to this place. Ceiling. Automatic ceiling. How useful is that? Let's add a bunch of automatic ceilings everywhere. Let's see how it looks in 3D. Or in fact, let's see how it looks in the cut view. DI, because I want them to touch the very bottom of these. Select all. And I want to raise it by 38. I can do this much math. 38. Okay. We now have ceilings. So this column should be touching the bottom of this ceiling and the top of this ground. Maybe it's okay like that, just to make it stronger. I'm gonna leave this part like this just to make it stronger, because it's being held in place by the concrete floor. But I'm definitely gonna edit this here. The curse of a perfectionist. That's a massive joist, isn't it? So it looks like the ceiling isn't quite touching the bottom of the joists. Oh, we didn't select them all in the project. It was 2638, wasn't it? 2638. Okay, that's it. Now, the height of this column goes up to here. And I want to reduce it down to here. So let's see, the top of this column, -362. And the same for this. Now these columns are supporting the ceiling and supporting the joists above them. So now, in 3D, we have no problem with this part of the ground being supported now. Anything that stands on here is going to transfer down the joists and down the columns into the ground, down through the beams, into the foundations, and into the ground. I just want to add one more column and that's it for this. Also, I want to trim these to here. Are they already trimmed there? Let's see. Okay, now that's it really. I just wanted to add one more column somewhere. And that's about here. So I'm gonna extend this up to, let's say, about here. And then I want to add one joist here connecting these two together. If you hold down Control and drag this over, it'll copy it for you. And then I can just align it to this and trim and extend. Or trim rather, we're just trimming it to here. And one column has to go here and then we can finish. Just gonna hide this ceiling for a second or a minute so I can see the columns. And hold Control. And we can move that over. So I'm gonna hide this a second as well, so we can see the joist. Same for this. And I'm just gonna align these here. So just gonna drag it down a little bit so that we can see both sides. And I'm gonna align this line to this line to this. Now this column's gonna be sitting inside the wall, but I'm happy with that now. So here we are, reset that. Now we have our stairs complete, ready to use. Except this ceiling is blocking the way. I thought the shaft box would cover that. Oh, of course. If it's not covering it, drag it down. Now it's covering it. So, these stairs are now ready to use. So for part 5, we're gonna finish this off with a roof. A structural framed roof on top of here. And then we're gonna add the actual roof on it. And we'll add all the rest of the doors and windows, whatever's needed. And that will be our complete model, which can literally be walked into if it were built in real life. Just to note, I'm not an architect and I'm not a structural engineer, so don't take my word for it. But it looks pretty sturdy to me.
You've been watching DrawTechnic.com. Remember to like and subscribe.